What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black. That's STEVEE the Black. I'm here, and I'm here to talk about Payback. That's right. You know what they say about Payback? Well, last night Payback was pretty good. Some people are saying it was better than WrestleMania because there were a lot of decisions that didn't make sense. But okay, so let's talk about Payback. First and foremost, heads up, I did not see the pre-show. For those of you who don't know, none of you know, I had to be the babysitter this weekend for my brothers, for my parents, and I really didn't have time to be by myself, quote unquote. So I did not get a chance to see the pre-show, but we all did sit around and watch the actual pay-per-view. But it wasn't until around Miz versus Cesaro, Jericho versus Ambrose, somewhere around there. I think it was actually Charlotte versus Natalya when we all started to actually sit around to watch. But just to let you know, first up, the first match was Jericho versus Baron Corbin. Judging based on how Baron Corbin was booked, since he's been in the main roster, you would think that he would actually win the match. Poor Dolph Ziggler. Poor Dolph Ziggler. But unfortunately, the sun did not shine on Baron. It shined on Ziggler. And Ziggler won the match. Now, obviously, a lot of people didn't agree with that, but I'm tired of Ziggler being used as a jobber for the new guys. Like, oh, beating Ziggler is the way you gotta go. No. Beat on somebody else. Don't beat on Ziggler. Beat on Jericho. Beat on Ambrose. No, don't beat on Ambrose. Beat on somebody. Beat up The Rock. But don't beat up Ziggler. Please don't. It's just, I'm tired of Ziggler. We want Ziggler to get that push, but we know he's never going to get it again. But still, I'm glad he won. And the second match in the pre-show was Kalisto versus Ryback. I actually had Ryback winning this match, but it was actually Kalisto, and he retained, so good job for him. Who knows what's next? I'm thinking maybe Baron Corbin. And if it's true, then that means Baron Corbin will be the next United States champion. Alright, so first off, we had the finals for the tag team tournaments. The Vaudevillains taking on Enzo and Cass. The winners get to be the number one contenders against the New Day for their tag team titles. Unfortunately, something bad happened, and if you don't know by now, we probably only got about 5-10 minutes of match because one of the Vaudevillains, they were sliding Enzo out of the ring, but he got caught up in the second rope and hit his head on the second rope and whiplashed back and hit his head on the mat really hard and then fell out the ring. And because of that, he got a concussion. He was taken to the hospital, the local hospital in Chicago. So by the end of the night, he was up and awake by the time the show was over. So that's good. But we all know thoughts and prayers are out for him to be better and back in the ring real soon. What does this mean for the tournament? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just get the Vaudevillains versus the Vaudevillains versus New Day right away, or maybe we'll get they'll have to face somebody else like the Usos or something. I don't know. Well, probably not the Usos. Maybe Epico and Primo. Maybe if they're coming back tomorrow. All right. Then the second match of the night, which was some people are calling the match of the night, is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This match was well put together, especially with the promos and everything leading up of how they met, the friendship that they had, everything of how close they were, and then how it all went down the toilet when Kevin Owens came to the WWE and everything like that. So, excuse me. But the match, to hype you up, was pretty good for it, especially the video package. The match itself was even better. Unfortunately, I knew that Kevin Owens was going to win. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just Kevin Owens wins a lot. And it's coming to the point where it's like, oh, all you guys do is have Kevin Owens win. Can't Sami Zayn win? Can't Dean Ambrose win? Can't someone else win? Like, what it really matters most, Kevin Owens wins. Like, come on, man. Can we get to that already? Not something else? But it's whatever. So after the match, KO decides to stay on commentary because he declares himself the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And it just so happened that the Intercontinental Championship match was next. So moving on now, we have Miz versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship. And my thought was that it was going to be DQ because Maurice was going to get involved. As a matter of fact, I think she got involved once or twice, but not enough for the decision. And actually, the match stuff was pretty good. Obviously, the Miz was about to lose, and then Sami Zayn out of nowhere comes out and attacks Kevin Owens, and I'm thinking, well, where's he been? Has he been in the back, or has he been just laying on the floor right there? Where's he been at? Or hiding under the ring or something? Like, what's under the ring? Like, maybe that's why they have the bottles under there. So, like, when you're hiding under the ring, oh, let me just get that, refresh me real quick. I don't know. But, so anyway, he comes up and he attacks him, and they're fighting each other, and then eventually somehow it leads into the ring. And when that happened, I automatically knew, oh, great, Miz is going to win, but then at Extreme Rules, it's going to be a fatal four-way. Luckily, we don't have to wait long because Extreme Rules is in 3 weeks in the same month. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, it's in the same month, so we don't have to wait that long. But still, I was so upset. I wanted Cesaro to win so bad, but at the back of my head, I think we all knew Cesaro wasn't going to win. Something was going to happen that was going to prevent him from walking out as IC champ, which again points to the question of, think of a much better match it could have been if Ryder was champion. It could have Ryder. If Ryder was champ up to here and lost it tonight, I would have been fine with that. Like, at least he had his good run, you know. But again, I'm not going to get into that. So, all right. So after the match, everybody was attacking each other, and Kevin Owens was standing tall. Like, I don't know what the WWE sees in him. I mean, we all know Vince loves big guys, but yeah, I mean, Kevin Owens is a big guy, but still. All I say is this: Kevin Owens better not walk out for a 4th time as Intercontinental Champion. It's either better be Cesaro. It's either going to be Cesaro or The Miz. Hopefully it's Cesaro. Alright, so next we have Jericho versus Ambrose. And this match was kind of boring. I'm sorry. But this was one of the lows of the night. It's just like, it wasn't, the crowd just wasn't into it. I really wasn't into it all that much. This match was originally scheduled for WrestleMania. But because the Jericho AJ feud was still hot, WWE just couldn't stop it. So they had to continue on with that. And obviously, we got Ambrose and Lesnar. And because of Ambrose lost to Lesnar, which everyone agrees he should have won, he went down like that. And even after beating Jericho because he needed to, I still feel like this. Like, he's down. Like, he needs a way to get back up. He never did invoke his rematch clause for the Intercontinental Championship. So he still has that. Jericho tweeted that goodbye, thanks WWE for all you're doing, see you next time. So he may be gone, or I don't know, but we'll find out later tonight on Raw. So there's that. But anyway, the match wasn't all that exciting. It was just and then alright, so going to the next match, we have Charlotte versus Natalya. Obviously Charlotte had her dad, and Natalya had her uncle her uncle Bret Hitman Hart. The match, I really wasn't paying attention to it again because I was babysitting, but it was around the end of the match when we all started sitting around, gathered around, and we saw the ending. And the ending, oh my god, it's so stupid. They did not have to do the whole Montreal Screwjob, which is now the Chicago Screwjob. It's like, seriously, she puts her in the sharpshooter. The ref's like, clearly everyone can see that she didn't tap out. And he's just like, ding, 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 ding. Like, what? It wasn't like Ric Flair was like, call for the bell. What are you going to say? Oh, we paid the ref off or something like that? Oh, come on. I mean, if y'all wanted to get the double sharpshooter in so bad, like, y'all had to do that. Still, I mean, come on, man. Like, this is... see, now you understand why Bret Hart was so pissed off, man. And the fact that he'll never be able to forget about the Montreal Screwjob because somebody always wants to remind him. Such a shame. It's just a shame of the world we live in. But, anyway, the double sharpshooter, Bret looked like he was struggling. He looked like his back was about to give out. But, you know, he did just beat cancer, so, you know, that's great. But still, I mean, he shouldn't be doing that. Alright, so then finally Vince comes out and he's deciding who should run Raw, Stephanie or Shane. They did address finally that the fact that since Shane did lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, he shouldn't be there right now, but because the crowd was so good and because he was doing such a great job running Monday Night Raw, that Vince allowed him to stay. And it was rumored that Vince was like, alright, Shane, you get Raw, Stephanie, you get SmackDown for the brand split. But instead, he said both of them were in charge. And I can kind of see where this goes down. these two, they start off great. Eventually, they will lead up to fighting, and it'll lead to chaos, and it'll be some kind of match at SummerSlam or something like that, where it decides they'll have teams or something like that. If not SummerSlam, then sorry, something popped up on my screen. And if not SummerSlam, then Survivor Series. But this time, here's what I think. Because if they're so keen on doing the brand split, Shane will win the first time, right? And then Shane will say, oh, I'm doing such a good job running Raw. I should run SmackDown. And Stephanie's like, oh, we've always done a good job running Raw. And we're doing an even better job doing SmackDown. We should get Raw. So then it'll lead to a Survivor Series or a SmackDown versus Raw. Winner of the team, the owner of that team gets both shows. And unfortunately, it'll probably be the Authority because hashtag the Authority always wins, right? Such a shame of the world we live in. Such a shame. Hopefully, Shane gets to keep Raw. We don't care if Stephanie gets to keep SmackDown. The thing is, though, this past Thursday, I actually watched a whole 2 hours of SmackDown. I don't know what it was, whether if it's getting actually better or it's just I was that bored that I watched the whole 2 hours of SmackDown. So, alright, anyway, so we come to the main event. Roman Reigns, the WWE Champion, taking on AJ Styles. The match was okay. It was pretty good. And things got interesting when not Cesaro, but AJ gave Roman Reigns a phenomenal forearm or whatever, or phenomenal clash, whatever it's called, off the onto the outside, and they went crashing through the table, and Roman Reigns ended up getting counted out. And I'm thinking, really? That's it? That's the match we've been waiting for? Roman Reigns' first title defense, and he gets a count-out victory? Really? And then Shane comes out, he's like, no, we're not doing it like this. Restart the match. But this time, it'll be no count-outs. And I'm thinking, wait, what about no disqualification? That immediately came to my mind. But I'm like, okay, that explains it'll happen later. So somehow, someway, I was watching the match. I did not see Roman Reigns low below AJ, but apparently he did. And then Stephanie comes out, she's like, oh no, we're not going to do that. And now it's no disqualification. I'm like, okay, the match restarts again. And I'm like, all right, well, now the Bullet Club, or what do you call it? Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they can come out and they can help AJ win. And they did. They came out and they gave him their move. But Reigns still ended up kicking out. Then the Usos come down and he beating up everybody. And then Reigns jumped up on top of everybody. And it was craziness. And the last 10 or so minutes was exciting. And because of that, Payback was even better than it was. Obviously, anyone who had a brain knew that Roman Reigns was not going to lose this match. I mean, they gave a clear indicator that AJ was close. He was really close, but Roman Reigns just hit that spear the right way, or whatever like that, right? And he's still WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So, at the end of it, as Roman was celebrating, Vince was in the back with Stephanie and Sharon. He's like, oh, you guys are doing a great job so far. He's like, I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next. And they're like, all right, so at Extreme Rules in 3 weeks, Roman Reigns takes on AJ Styles in the rematch in an Extreme Rules match. All right, the match is set. So we all knew that was going to happen. Everyone was expecting Finn Balor or maybe to come out and debut. He could still do that tonight because AJ could be like, I told you guys I didn't need your help. And he's like, yeah, we know, but we weren't out there to help you. And they're like, what? And then they could turn on him, and then he's like, why, guys, what? And then you can have Finn Balor debut, but he'll debut the heel, and they can form the Balor Club. We're not the Bullet Club, we're the Balor Club, or whatever like that, right? So that's how you could do it. But overall, that was Payback. I think it was pretty good. I gave WrestleMania a 7 or a 7.5. I'm going to give Payback a 7.58 because it was pretty good. A lot of memorable things. And I'm not saying WrestleMania wasn't memorable. It's just questionable decisions. But overall, Payback was good. Again, later on today, maybe around 6, 7 o'clock, I'll do my other video for my new video of the eras of WWE. Since we're technically in the new era of WWE now, I decided to look back on all the eras of past in the wrestling past and go over and find out which one is the best. So until later today, if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you. Peace out.